Hello everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we will be continuing in the fourth case of the game, Twisted Karma and His Last Vow. We are in Holmes' suite, where it looks like we're going to be doing another Dance of Deduction, which we haven't done in a while. I forgot. Yeah, it's a very strange scene that we walked in on at the end of the last episode, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? Everybody's like, oh, this is very awkward. But I'm very sure that that's Susato's dad, but I mean, I'm sure he's not dead, because it would have been handled much more seriously. But, what's going on, Iris? Is that her? Like, did she attack him because she found out the truth that he was actually Sherlock's partner? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Something's going on. And I think Sherlock already said his deduction last time. I don't even remember what he said, but I think it was something about, like, didn't he mention, like, Germany? And he made a reference to one of, like, a character we already saw. Like one of the little boy, right? The boy whose name I could never pronounce. With your silence as well. The fellow's jovial warbling rather rings in the ears, does it not? Bruh, why do you think it's him singing? His mouth is not even moving. Rianowski is like, I'm tired. I'm so tired, Sherlock. We've been doing this for quite a while, this dance of deduction, where your deductions are just getting more and more ridiculous. Um, Mr. Holmes, I must say, something does rather trouble me. Pray, Mrs. Otto, do tell. His Royal Highness, right, doesn't appear to have moved a muscle since we arrived. Ah, yes, he might be unconscious, actually. And you haven't said a word either, Iris. Does she have, like, something wrong with her tooth, or like a sore throat, or I don't know, something weird going on. Unless she's just angry and that's why she's not saying anything. She doesn't want to incriminate herself. Hmm. If Mr. Holmes has it all right, you might as well own up to it now. She looks angry, but it could also be pain. I don't know. Your reasoning isn't entirely without substance, I must admit. And one other thing, Mr. Holmes. Yet another grievance, Mr. Naruhodo? Surely not. You haven't even gone into your typical rebuttal of my deduction. Why are you doing it like this? Well, I actually read the story of that case recently, the one you were just describing. And according to that, at least, it wasn't the King of Germany, it was the King of Bohemia. Right. Goodness, was it? Yes, that's quite true. Yeah, Gotts. That's right, the prince. Uh-huh. Master Gotts, the prince, testified to that in court. In his words, I have come to see the great exhibition all the way from my home in Bohemia. Or, I forgot what accent I did for him. Whatever. I would ask you to keep that minor error to yourselves. It could easily become quite a scandal. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that it's our turn now to make some corrections to a number of minor errors that may have slipped in. Yes, even Mr. Holmes is willing to admit that he might be slightly wide of the mark this time. Although it's clear that Iris is definitely hiding something. We need to find out the truth behind this mysterious scene. But one truth is incontrovertible. My favorite coffee cup is no more. So, shall we embark again on a joint presentation of Sherlock Holmes's Logic and Reasoning Spectacular? Yeah, here we go. This might be the last time in the game. I don't know if we're gonna get to do this in the next case. Man's identity, King of Germany. Alright. Firstly, we considered the gentleman's nationality. Clearly he's a German with no grasp of the English language, as evidenced by the Germanic song he sings and his apparent inability to understand when asked to desist. Ah, sir. His mouth is not moving! What is wrong with you? So, why is the man here at all, and in such apparently high spirits? Excuse me. The answer, of course, Iris, is clearly known to you. Indeed, we need only follow the gaze of those bright young eyes to unravel that particular part of this mystery. The reason for the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the herbal tea. Look at that face. That face she's making. That's why I thought she might have like a sore tooth or something because of that little grimace, but it could also be irritation. So what? It's some mix of herbs that gives you the urge to sing? Goodness, I should like to try some. And I'd like to hear your singing, but this man... Just how long does he intend to keep up with that tune, do you suppose? As I said, he's been stock still the entire time, and if you look closely, his lips aren't moving either. Ah. So I'm not sure what's actually responsible for the spirited singing, but I suspect the answer lies at the end of Iris's gaze. Okay, let's look around. This is some very awkward positioning, but we have a rather limited view, but obviously she has to be looking at the gramophone. Wait, this is a gramophone, still rarely seen in our own country. The sound certainly appears to be coming from the horn. But machine singing, that can't be right. Science and technology are changing the world rapidly, Mr. Naruhodo. What's right is changing too. Ugh, it's too much for my brain. What, like the whole photograph thing wasn't shocking for you already, right? Well, at least we found our answer. Alright. What's the actual source of this boisterous singing? Take that! The reason for the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the gramophone. Indeed. For no well-bred gentleman would break into an obscure folk song when making a social call. In other words, this gentleman isn't singing at all. In fact, it would appear that the fellow is unconscious. Can we turn it off? Oh, good. Because it's one of those that you had to wind up, so it looks like it finally just dies on its own. Ah, the music seems to have stopped now. I ask you, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. Why would I have purchased a recording of that gibberish? Good question. I mean, it's not that bad. It's kind of catchy in its own way, even though it doesn't have any like background accompaniment. But also it's not that great either. How should I know? Well, never mind. On with the deduction. Who exactly is this gentleman availing himself so thoroughly of the settee? As it happens, a number of years ago now, a certain gentleman of German origin engaged my services in solving a particularly delicate case. He required the retrieval of letters once sent to an acquaintance that might have proved problematic. In order to conceal his noble identity, he also arrived at my office in a mask. The gentleman's name was Wilhelm Gottfried Sigismund von Ormstein, the King of Germany, which we just determined is actually Bohemia, but alright. If my memory serves, the mask worn by this gentleman is identical. Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to the King of Germany. No, that's a Sogi's mask. Although we've already established that it was actually the King of Bohemia. It seems Mr. Holmes intends to persist with his Germany theory for some reason. Come to think of it, the young prince was wearing a mask as well, wasn't he? He was. Master Gotts, the boy whom you had in tears? Don't remind me, or anyone else. Do you suppose all members of the aristocracy of mainland Europe wear masks? I'm sure they do. Well, probably, anyway. The point is, that mask doesn't belong to any king. Well, I mean, he's kind of your king, ain't he? He a real king, all right. The king of prosecutors. The first king of prosecutors. No, that's right. As we well know. Because we can identify the true owner of this mask. Okay. It's Kazuma-sama. Our gorgeous man. Hello.
Take that!
Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to Kazuma Asogi. In other words, my memory is sublimely unreliable. Yep. Look at that face. Oh, they're funny. Only you could try to make that sound positive. Kazuma's mask has been languishing on this metal chest for several days. Though that doesn't explain why the gentleman is wearing it now. But it is now a simple matter to determine our guest's true identity. After all, the gentleman is unconscious. We need only excuse ourselves in advance, gently lift the mask and peer beneath it. Her father. You should have recognized him before that, but whatever. I don't believe it. Ah! Father! I'm afraid, Mr. Soto. Let's cut off whatever ridiculous thing he was gonna say. I'm afraid, Mr. Soto, you must be mistaken. No, I think not, Mr. Holmes. Yeah, cut him off. Then it would appear our logic and reasoning has once again revealed the truth. This mysterious visitor is my unconscious father, Eugene Mikotoba. Oh, I think Iris is feeling really bad now. Maybe she thought he was an intruder? I don't know. Did he come in wearing? Wait, didn't we have Kazuma's mask? I can't remember. I feel like we had it for some reason. Why would he have the mask on? Did he startle her and she attacked him? But he had the cup in his hand. Oh, I don't know. This one has me really thrown, y'all. Logic and reasoning, or just looking and saying? Okay. I mean, she does look like she feels really bad. Girl's silence. To hide the coffee cup. Huh. No, it's in plain view, so she's not hiding it. Which leaves us with one remaining imponderable. Yes, you, young Iris. But your apparently inexplicable silence is unable to hide the truth. What is wrong with your mouth? Are you injured? Do you have something in your mouth? Like, what's going on? Are you just angry pouting? I can't tell. Oh. Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside that knapsack. Although it does look like something is stuffed in there. But she also looks like she might have something behind her, in her hands or something? I don't know. So that's a 5-pound note poking out from Iris's knapsack, is it? Oh dear, I can't be sure. Most money that we encounter is in coin form. I know. I'm not even sure if we've seen any banknotes here in Britain at all, have we? But anyway, Father would never have paid money for Iris's silence. He certainly seems like the silent type himself, though, judging by his present state. Oh, you're so funny. There must be some other reason for Iris's silence, I suppose. Perhaps what Iris is trying so hard not to give away with her eyes is something entirely different. Knapsack. Okay, now her hands are not behind her back. What's she really looking at? She's looking over... There's nothing in her hands. It has a limited view. So she's looking at over here. Metal chest? So something about the chest then, because there's nothing else that's really highlighting or that's letting me turn or move. So it must be the metal chest. Huh. Oh, it does seem like there's like a little different color right there. Like it's open. Yeah. This metal chest, it contains important documents, doesn't it? Oh, maybe because she came looking for the file, right? That supposedly Sherlock stole of the autopsy. Maybe he startled her and caught her in the act and she attacked him? I don't know. Yes, details of all the cases Mr. Holmes has worked on over the years. Written up by Iris's father, if I'm remembering correctly. Iris insists that the chest is kept locked at all times. She's never once shown me inside. Well, its contents are invaluable to her, I suppose, and entirely irreplaceable. But look at it now. The catch is unlocked for once. Ah, so it is. That's hard to ignore. Very. I've never seen that chest unlocked before in all the time we've been staying here at Baker Street. Yep, and that's it.
Take that!
Yes, the reason for all your muteness is concealed inside that metal chest. An excellent observation, for upon closer inspection there is something different about the chest's appearance. It's kept locked at all times, yet now the catch is open. Evidently, this has something to do with your refusal to speak, Iris. She must be really upset with you, Sherlock. With whatever she found in there. But it's a simple enough matter to incite you to speak, I'm sure. I merely need open this chest. Wait, should that have been Ryunosuke to say that? I think it should have been Sherlock who said that. Here we go. No! Shining, don't! Oh, she spoke. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, what a position to land in. Oh, Mr. Holmes! Mr. Holmes! Sherlock! Okay. Damn. What are we, the Three Stooges? What the frick? I can't believe you, Iris. Why would you do that, Iris? You knew he was bending over. Why didn't you stop him sooner? Maybe because she was angry at him. Jesus. And, oh, poor Mikotoba, and now Sherlock. And that positioning. My brain. I mean, how many people's brains are gonna jump there? A lot, right? Look at that. That looks super, fruity. Okay, is this gonna be a ship for real? Because I swear I see it right there. Oh dear. Also, I didn't know Mikotoba was such a large man. Look at those hands. He's got yaoi hands, y'all. That's all I can say. There's this thing in yaoi manga and media and stuff that for some reason the way they draw them and depict them, which hey, I don't judge them because I can't draw anyway, but for some reason a lot of the male hands are drawn like super large to the point that it looks weird. So it just happens a lot in BL, and so it became like a joke thing that they were like, oh, they got yaoi hands. So, but I mean, compared to Sherlock, Mikotoba thick. He got thick thighs. He got big hair. He a big man. He a daddy. He a daddy. All right. That's kind of ooh. Okay, my brain is going places already. Sherlock, I didn't think you were gonna be the bottom in that relationship, but you know, I kind of see it now. All right. Anyway, interesting. Here I am shipping something without much proof of it existing, but you know, I think the building blocks are building. He's dead. a murder. Two murders right in front of us. Two dead people. Never. Oh, Charlie, I told you not to open it. Ah, so you found your voice now, Iris. Guess you don't have a toothache or something. I guess you were just being silent to, prevent us from figuring out whatever happened. Ah! In other words, what just happened clearly reveals the truth here. Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is... This is somewhat different to the usual dance of deduction you perform with Mr. Holmes, isn't it? Well, he's unconscious, so... Well, he's left me alone on the ballroom floor, so I'm gonna have to dance this next part solo. Your partner has abandoned you for his old partner. But hey, you got your old partner back with Kazuma, so I guess it's fair? And anyway, I need to get to the bottom of this for my own peace of mind. Now then, Iris isn't usually the silent type, so... You mean you don't actually know the answer yet, despite that knowing pointed the finger before. Mrs. Sato, sometimes a man needs to point his finger first and think later. Oh, well, if you say so. I think we'd better examine Iris more closely and try to rescue the situation then. Okay, does she still have something in her hands then, right? Her skirt? Why was her skirt an option? There's a key. Okay. Where did that come from? I don't think that was in her hands before. Was it? That's a key she's holding. Look. I'm sure that wasn't in her hands before, was it? Yeah. No, you're quite right. It's appeared as if by magic. It's a big key. That's strange. A big, old iron key. Where did it materialize from? And her knapsack. I mean, we might as well just quickly look at that stuff. For some reason, this knapsack is really standing out as suspicious to me today. I mean, it's so cute, the little bunny animal and the little animals of her and Sherlock. That's super cute. Oh, is it? It's quite sizable enough for a sizable secret, that's what I say. Perhaps it is, but we certainly can't open it up to look inside without Iris's permission. No, you're right. Who knows what might pop out and punch us. Very true. Quite the violent little girl, aren't you? Her skirt? I hope you're not gonna suggest something horrible like looking under her skirt. Bruh. Why? It's a cute skirt. Iris always dresses in these frilly clothes, isn't she? I've always thought this skirt is rather delightful. It's pretty sizable with all those frills. Sizable enough for a sizable secret. Really? You seem to be rather fond of that idea. Girls are sus. They have so much clothing that they can hide things in, which is okay, you have a point, but still. But you certainly can't go investigating further, or else I will have to throw you down, bro. I will have to do a takedown on you. Does it look like that's what I was thinking? Okay. Let's just present the key then.
Take that!
Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is that key behind your back. Ah! The only thing I could think of, but it doesn't look right. I'm gonna say this. I thought she might have been hiding something in her mouth. But to me, the size of the key is so big. And when she shouted, like, Sherlock, look out, it's not like I saw a very big, obvious key just come tumbling out. Unless they did do something, but it was so quick. But to me, it's like, this is so big. Like, I would have been, like, ugh, the thought of something that big in her mouth. Like, she's tiny, you know? That's really large. Look at how big that is. Like, if it was a little bit smaller of a key, I would have been like, oh yeah, that's totally believable. Ah! When Mr. Holmes was thrown into the air before. Oh, they didn't even bother okay. Got it. That's why I didn't see anything. Okay, I don't blame them for not even animating it then. Because, yeah, to me it's not that realistic, but sure. Just before you called out to try to stop him, you slipped something out of your mouth. And that something is the key now in your hands. No doubt the key to the chest. Why would you even bother? It was unlocked. You're so clever, Bruno. So now it becomes clear. Thanks to Mr. Holmes' graphic demonstration, you can well imagine what happened here. But Professor Mikotoba also opened that metal chest, only to be punched into the air and land sprawled on the settee. But wait, that doesn't explain all the facts. Yeah, he's holding the coffee cup in his hand, and it's not shattered, but there is a shattered one in the ground. Okay, how long are they going to be on top of each other like this? That's so distracting for my yaoi brain. Oh, that doesn't explain all the facts. Okay. What about the stylish scarf and the cup of tea? And above all, why would he be wearing Kazuma-sama's mask? Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Well, for those curious details, I can think of only one explanation. Clearly an unbelievable miracle took place in this room. Okay, was that scarf or whatever, was it on top of the box before? I don't remember. Like, as a decoration cover, and that's how it, like, landed on top of him? The mask was also on top of it, wasn't it? On the trunk? So it just happened to miraculously land on his face? Are we really pulling, like... Okay. Spoilers if you haven't... I have to be aware that sometimes people see these things out of order, and it's, like, hard for me. It's hard for me to remember, so I'm just gonna say it here. Spoilers for a past Ace Attorney game. Is this a freaking stupid reference to the... which is it? The cape. In, I think it's Justice for All in that case. The circus case. The one that a lot of us are like, I hate that. Hate that twist, that explanation with the cape and the bust, you know? That's kind of what it feels like, but we'll see. Unbelievable miracle, yeah, sure. Isn't that right, Iris? Yeah, because they were on top. I thought so. So, one of them landed on the ground and shattered. And I guess he still managed... How did he still manage to hold on to the other one after being punched in the air, though? That's kind of ridiculous. Consider how the room was arranged before this whole painful experience took place. Yeah. When Professor Mikotoba opened the chest, completely unaware of what awaited him inside, the mask was flung into the air just as he was, only to land neatly on his face when it fell back down. Yeah. Okay. The teacup's journey through the air ended when it caught on the unconscious professor's finger. Sure. Sure. You mean to say that the stylish scarf is actually just a tablecloth? This is the great detective's office, after all. A place of miraculous deductions. I mean, that is insane. Especially the one... The mask... And then the teacup on the finger, those are the two that I don't buy at all. That I'm just like, oh, come on. Well, at least she kind of got to participate in the dance of deduction right there at the end like that. Would you expect anything less? Kinda ridiculous, but oh well. Yes, you're right. It happened exactly as you said. Brilliant, Runo. Thus concludes Ryunosuke Naruhodo's great deduction of this punchy puzzle. Okay, let's help these two guys who are injured and unconscious. So then, why don't I make a fresh pot of tea for us all?
Objection!
Oh, he's up already. You got up much quicker than Mikotoba did. An admirable performance, Mr. Naruhodo. But in the final act of the show there, you rather missed everything of importance. Mr. Holmes! Oh, it's not over. If you would cast your mind back to my earlier deduction. Iris, clearly you're hiding a great secret. She is? From the look on her face. Mr. Holmes must be right. Look at that smug little look on his face. You would think he would be very bruised after getting hit like that. Mr. Holmes must be right. Whatever that great secret is, the cat isn't out of the bag yet. So I put it to you again. You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. It really is a shame about Mr. Holmes's cup. It must have been smashed when Professor Mikotoba opened the chest. Oh dear. So many things seem to have been broken here. Now that the deduction has taken a different direction, Iris doesn't seem to be trying to hide the broken cup anymore. In other words, her great secret is something else. Let's put our observational skills to work here one final time, then. There's something... That's not the cup, that's like just the handle. Is there something under the plate? Yeah, I thought so. Oh, that's the case file, that little thing, huh? Ah, look. There. There seem to be more papers there. Is Iris trying to hide them underneath the tray? It's very small. The insignia, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an official Scotland Yard document. What? But why would Iris have? We must ask her. An official Scotland Yard document. Alright, let's do it.
Take that!
You were attempting to abscond with that case file. I do love the music of the Dance of Deduction. It's so cool. Iris, as you know very well, nothing escapes the attention of a great detective. Oh no! We visited Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory earlier today, and Dr. Gorey informed us. Huh, it looks weird to see her turn her head like that. That the autopsy report of Clint von Zeeks had gone missing. Clint von Zeeks? Yes, I do seem to recall that some years ago I asked to see the report in question. You were with me, weren't you, Iris? Did she steal it? I thought Sherlock stole it. But based on how she's acting, now it feels like she stole it. But why? Was she trying to cover up something? The only person I could think she would try to protect by stealing it would be either Sherlock himself or her father. And her father was the coroner involved, right? Back then? Maybe she saw something in it that made her feel like she had to do that, but she was so young. Well, I guess that doesn't matter, right? Oh boy, Iris. What are you doing? I asked to see the report in question. You were with me, weren't you, Iris? You mean it was you, Iris? So those papers you have there are... I'm sorry. Forgive me! Aw. To hide the case file. Yeah. Deduction complete. Which probably is the last one. And it was pretty long and drawn out and silly. In truth, I would like to have thought I could have predicted the booby-trapped chest. but it caught me completely off guard. I was very nearly the late consulting detective Sherlock Holmes. Uh, I'm sorry, Shirley. So you mean this autopsy report really is? Yes, I took it from the lab, even though I knew it was very important. Was there something in it that troubled you, Iris? Not exactly something that troubled me. Something I'd been looking for. When I saw this report, when I saw the writing in it, I knew it was Daddy's. Aww. The writing. Your father's writing? What do you really mean? Oh, this is new music. Damn, this late in the game, we're still getting new music. Iris? It must be something that's hard for her to talk about. Because I feel like this is something that's probably going to carry over into the next case, right? About her father. Forgive me for interrupting, my dear fellows. He's like, no, I don't want us to go into that just yet. See? Mr. Holmes, what is it? I feel as though the poor unconscious gentleman on the settee has been somewhat forgotten. He is my partner, after all. Yeah, Sasato, that's her father. Shouldn't you be a little more worried about him? Ah! Father! Perhaps we should find our guest somewhere more peaceful to rest? Mr. Nadahodo. Yes. Would you be so kind as to lend him your bed? We must do our very best to make him comfortable, I feel. Oh, yes, of course. I'll help you carry him up. So will I. He's a big man, after all. You sure of that? Sherlock, you're a scrawny fellow, and I don't know if you can carry him alone, but maybe you just want alone time, I don't know. No, I can manage alone, thank you. You have tea to enjoy. You wouldn't want Iris's brew to stew. Yeah, very smooth how you interrupted the conversation about her father, but still. Because there's no better way to make the professor comfortable than dragging him upstairs like a trunk. Oh, is that what he's doing? Oh, God. He's like, oh, don't worry, he's used to this. I wonder. Perhaps that was deliberate. Oh, yeah, bitter ex-lovers, little divorced. I can't wait. I want the confirmation. Maybe Mr. Holmes is making himself scarce to give Iris the chance to talk more freely. We must use this opportunity to talk with Iris. And find out what's going on. Aw. Poor Iris. Would you like to tell us about it, Iris? About your father? I'm sure I told you before, didn't I? That Daddy used to be Shirley's partner. Yes, and the notes about all the cases they solved together are kept inside that metal chest. Interesting. See, it's more proof, right? That Mikotoba knew that, and it's like, is that why he was... How would he know? Because he was going into the chest, but... How was it unlocked? Is my thing. Unless they have like a specific place where the key is kept and he knew, which is even more further proof, because wouldn't she be like, hey, how does this man know where the key is, know how to get inside it? Why was he going in there? It's because he was Sherlock's partner. Like, damn, bro. That's right. Shirley told me, you see. But why would Sherlock lie like that? Why would he make her father his partner instead of Mikotoba? He said that Daddy's somewhere far away now, so we can't meet. That's one way of describing it. Then, when I secretly unlocked the chest and read through the papers inside, I started to build up a picture in my head of what Daddy must be like. Well, that's only natural. You're just like any other girl of your age. I read that Daddy was a professor of medical science, so I studied and took my degree too, despite how young I was and how ridiculous that is. Well, that's only natural, I suppose. In that respect, you're not quite like any other girl of your age, though. But there was one thing that I could never find out. Daddy's name. Oh? Is that so? His name wasn't anywhere on any of the notes that he'd made about his work with Shirley. But then one day... That's what happened, is it? When you saw this autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out. Is that right? Because he was the coroner who performed that autopsy. But wait, just because he was the coroner who performed it doesn't mean he was the one who wrote this report. Sometimes they'll have an assistant with them or somebody who does the writing, like a scribe they call them. Even nowadays they still have that. So I think they said that her father Mikotoba was like the assistant coroner. So that's probably what happened, is that he actually wrote the report, even if Watson was the one performing the autopsy. So when you saw this autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out, is that right? Yes. So it was the handwriting in the report that caught her eye. And then what? She confronted Sherlock and he just went with the lie? When I saw the writing on that report, I could hardly believe it. I know that handwriting, I thought to myself. Because it was the same as the writing you'd seen on your father's case notes. Exactly. I was desperate to compare the two properly. I needed to see them side by side. So that's why you stole it. I got it. I asked the doctor in the laboratory, but I was told I couldn't take the report away. Even worse, I was told that that was the first and last time we'd be allowed even to look at it there. So you decided to steal it. Aw, desperation. When I compared the autopsy report with the case notes I had here, there was no doubt. The handwriting was exactly the same. It was Daddy's. And the signature of the coroner at the bottom of the autopsy report read Dr. John H. Watson. So that's how I finally found out. I learned Daddy's name at last. I see. Ever since then, I've called myself Iris Watson. And that's also when I had the brilliant idea of writing stories all about Daddy's exciting times with Shirley. I decided there and then that I'd write The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, Iris, I had no idea the stories had quite such a deep personal significance for you. I can see why the autopsy report was so important to her now. And why she was prepared to break the law to get her hands on it. I must apologize, Iris. This is really all my fault. It really is. You let her believe all these lies all this time. Shirley? I made a promise, you see, that until the time was right, I'd keep the details about your father a secret.
I know. I've been very naughty. I'll take the autopsy report back to Dr. Gory and apologize, I promise.
Yes, we'll go together, I think.
Then, let me look after it for you until we get there.
Okay, so we can actually look at it. Let's look at it before we gotta take it back. Also, Gregson's trunk. We didn't get to look at that. Gregson's metal traveling trunk that was removed from the scene. Covered by Gina. Oh. Have you seen this huge gash across the side of the trunk here? That's weird. It's gone right through the leather and into the metal behind.
Gosh, for a metal chest like this to have been so badly damaged.
Yeah. Interesting.
Whatever made the gash must have struck the side of the trunk with considerable force.
I wonder how it happened. I don't know. Don't know. Okay, there's this blood. Look at this dark stain here. Do you think...
Yes, I'm afraid so. I think it's blood.
Ugh, I knew you were going to say that. So that presumably means...
that this was present at the scene when Inspector Gregson was killed. It's the most logical conclusion, yes.
Do you think Gina's been carrying this around with her? If you didn't know any better, I suppose it does look like a grease stain from all the fish and chips. Okay. Let's have a look inside. Oh. Some interesting stuff in here. Nothing at the top. Nothing else important except for this paper, I guess. Look, there's something inside.
Oh, let's see. It appears to be a passport authorizing him to travel overseas.
Was Inspector Gregson about to go on a trip abroad then? Well, he wanted to go to France, right?
Perhaps the date of departure might tell us something. That was... Oh!
What is it?
It was for travel on the 31st of October, just one day before the incident.
What? Really? A passport document that was in Inspector Gregson's possession. It was issued for travel to France the day before his body was discovered. Gregson went to France the day before his body was discovered? And got back that quick? Well, I guess it's not... I guess he didn't have to stay that long for whatever he did. I mean, damn, this is a really big cut. Oh, wait. There's a piece of metal here. So, some kind of blade or something. Do you see that? There's something stuck in the side of the trunk there. It's glinting.
Looks like a fragment of metal of some sort. But it's wedged in so tightly I can't remove it.
Well, don't cut yourself. You'd better leave it, I think. Sharp blade. Went to France. The Asogi papers. Let's look at these again. I, Genshin Asogi, hereby request that upon my death, any and all material possessions and wealth belonging to me in London be delivered to my son, Kazuma Asogi, in the Empire of Japan. It is with deep sadness that I accept my fate in this foreign land, in the knowledge that I will never see my homeland or family again, but I regret nothing about my chosen path. Is there a code or something in there? Like, I don't know. Okay, let's look at autopsy report. Coroner John Watson. Van Zeeks was 33 when he died. May 31st between 9 p.m. and midnight. That's a big hour gap. Okay. Observations. Death from a single stab wound to the heart. Other superficial external wounds indicative of a duel. They had a duel? So they fought each other when he killed him? If he did kill him? Because he made it sound like he really did do it, right? But it doesn't mean he was the professor, because the professor killed multiple people. Maybe he only killed one in a duel, which was Clint, unfortunately. Why would he have killed Clint, though, if that was his friend? Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand, but no document in corresponding ink was found. This is of Clint, so maybe Clint also wrote a will? That they said they were looking for Asogi's will, but maybe they were looking for Clint's will. Maybe Clint had a will? Because he said it was like his weapon or whatever. That maybe they both had like started like a paper together detailing about their duel and like whatever information they knew. It's, I don't know. Autopsy findings. Vital evidence recovered from the victim's stomach during autopsy, which is still weird. Credit to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so doggedly for the autopsy procedure. No internal trauma noted anywhere in the body. What made him so desperately want an autopsy? It's almost as if they knew, oh, if you do an autopsy, you'll find something in the stomach. You know what I mean? It feels shady. Especially when it looked obvious that he was stabbed from the stab wound, you know? Because if it wasn't for the autopsy, they wouldn't have found the thing in the stomach. Which, what was it? I think they said something that indicated a sogi. Excuse me. Oh gosh, it's almost an hour. I'm tired. Let's see. Are we done? I must go and water my herbs, I think. Yeah, feels like we're at the end. Okay, good. I'll see you all later. Poor Iris. Poor Iris. She must be feeling awful. I know Mr. Holmes is here for her, but still. Oh, something's going on. Well, I think we'll leave Susato screaming for the next episode. I don't know if we're about to hit it to be continued or whatever. Maybe this is poor timing and I should keep going. But this feels like a cliffhanger moment, and I'm tired, and we're almost at an hour, so to me, it's good timing. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this, and yeah, I will probably be sticking to 2 videos a week for a while. I just don't see myself having the time or energy to do 3 videos a week anymore. But this is the only game I'm playing now, so you know, at least it's something. Anyway, until next time, have a nice day. Bye bye.